Hello everyone. In today's Cretaceous profile, we're going to be doing is Anzu is a monospecific genus of canonichthyid from North Dakota, South Dakota, and Montana. Dinosaur that lived during the late Cretaceous of Upper Maastrichtian stage. 67.2 to 66 million years ago, meaning it is the only canonichthyid that managed to reach towards the end of the dinosaurs. But it is not the only canonichthyid. There is another which I'm going to be doing a profile on. It lived what is now the Hell Creek Formation. The type species Anzu willinii is known from numerous skeletons that preserve cranial and postcranial elements. It was named in 2014, and Anzu was listed as one of 2014's top new species discovered, with the findings being of significant scientific value. It was acknowledged again in 2015 as an unprecedented discovery of scientific worth by the International Institute for Species Exploration. Several large skeletons from the late Maastrichtian Hell Creek Formation of Montana and South Dakota were initially referred to as chirostenotes, though more recent studies concluded that they represent new species. In 1998, Fred Noss of Noss Fossils discovered the site containing the holotype CM78000. The first two partial skeletons of Anzu were discovered in 1998 by Fred Noss Fossils on a private South Dakota ranch. The two specimens weren't buried together. The skeleton rested about 330 feet apart, with the second individual in the rock layer about 11 feet below the first. But once prepped by the commercial outfit Tribold Paleontology, it was clear that both represent the same dinosaur. Both were mostly disarticulated and appeared to have been transported by a water current. A third referred specimen fragmentary skeleton, MRF 319, studied by Tyler Lawson of the National Museum of Natural History, was discovered by Scott Hare, who spotted the bones at his uncle's ranch in North Dakota at a rear lower jaw fragment, FMNHPR 2296 was also referred. National History of Smithsonian Institution in Washington. The main fossils are being held at the Carnegie Museum of Natural History, and Tyler Lawson of the Smithsonian in Washington realized in 2006 that each had a partial skeleton of the same species, and began collaborating to study it. These four fossils found at the Hell Creek together make up a fairly complete skeleton of Anzu, comparison about 75 to 80% of the whole skeleton. Three researchers, Emma of the University of Utah and Matthew and assisted by Hans, a paleontologist at the National Museum of Natural History of a Smithsonian Institution in Washington. The main fossils are being held in Carnegie Museum of Natural History in Pittsburgh. The genus is notable as well the first well-preserved example of a North American oviraptorosaur. According to zoos, for almost 100 years, the presence of oviraptorosaurs in North America was only known from a few bits of the skeleton, and the details of their appearance and biology remained a mystery. With the discovery of Anzu, we finally have the fossil evidence to show what this species looked like and how it is related to other dinosaurs. The creature's appearance: big crest on their skulls, a beak, no teeth, and a very bird-like skeleton. And its discovery in the Hell Creek Formation led to being jokingly nicknamed the Chicken from Hell. Yeah. They actually gave it a nickname. Anzu is characterized by a toothless beak, a prominent crest, long arms, ending in slender, relatively straight claws, powerful legs with slender toes, and a relatively short tail. Anzu is measured about 3.5 to 3.75 meters, 11.5 to 12.3 feet long, and up to 1.5 meters, 4.9 feet tall at the hips, and 200 to 300 kilograms, 440 to 660 pounds in body mass, and was among the largest North American oviraptorosaur. When the type specimen of Anzu was described, several anatomic derived traits unique to a genus were established. There is a high crescent-like crest on the skull, formed by the upper branches of the premaxillae. The occipital condyle is wider than the foramen magnum, the front part of the lower jaw, which is fused with its counterpart, has a prominent flange on its outer side. The retroarticulator possesses a prominent projection at the rear of the lower jaw, is elongated about as long as the jaw surface. The lower end of the radius is derived into two round processes. The first phalanx of the second finger has a through along the lower edge of its inner side. The front side of the astragalus, the ankle bone, has a tubercle at the base of its ascending process. An additional 4 possible anatomic morphs were identified in the referred specimens. The main body of the maxilla has no depression around the epitorbial fenestrae. The nasal branch of the maxilla is elongated and constructed like an introverted L. The branch of the jugal towards the quadratojacal is vertically deep. The same branch is forked at its rear end. And for its classification, Anzu was placed in Oviraptorsauria. As a member of the Caninidae, a cladist analysis showed it was possible sister species of Caninidae. It had been expected that Oviraptorosaurs would be found in North America, as well as the documented species specimens in Asia, as the two continents had land connections during the Cretaceous, but the discovery of Anzu indicates that North American Oviraptorosaurs were related more closely to each other than to their counterparts in Asia. And for its paleobiology, Anzu was probably an omnivore or herbivore, although the beak is not as heavily constructed as in the Asian Oviraptoridae. Other differences of its Asian cousins include size. The Asian Oviraptoridae were smaller, as well as thicker legs and different lower jaws. The fossils of Anzu were found in mudstone rock that had once been part of the ancient floodplains. This indicates that the species likely had a lifestyle significantly different from its Asian counterparts, which they lived in arid or semi-arid conditions. Its lifestyle, according to Stephen of the University of Edinburgh, was that of fast-running ecological generalist that didn't quite fit the usual molds of meat-eating or plant-eating dinosaur. Its jaw morphology suggests that it could eat a variety of food items, including vegetation, small animals, and possibly eggs. While a number of its features were similar to those of modern birds, it was not an avian dinosaur, and its line died out in the Cretaceous Paleogene extinction event 66 million years ago, along with all the rest of the non-avian dinosaurs. Its bird-like features are instead an example of convergent evolution. Matthew comments that it would have had a lot of birdie behaviors. When people think of dinosaurs, they think of something like T-Rex or Brontosaurus. And when they think of bird, they think of something like a sparrow or chicken. This animal, Anzu, has a mosaic of features of both of those groups. And so it basically provides a really nice link in the evolutionary chain. The purpose of Anzu's large crest is unclear. Seuss noted that it is very large and made of paper-thin bone. so it was not able to take much stress. All oviraptorosaurs have this crest, but it is certainly the largest in Anzu. The most likely function is for display, showing off to members of its own species. The Australian cassowary has a similar crest, which is thought to used to attract mates. So it is possible that Anzu could use its crest in a similar fashion. The fossil showed evidence of injuries, including a healed broken rib and an arthritic toe that was probably the result of a tendon being ripped away from the bone. It is not known whether this indicates that the animals fought each other or were injured by predators. And that's it for Anzu. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, and see you later, guys.